Welcome to Girls Who Read Porn. Please be advised that this podcast contains mature content for mature audiences. The title might have given that away though. We would also advise you triple check the trigger warnings of each book prior to the episode, and if it's not for you, we'll see you next week. Each episode includes major spoilers, so make sure you read the book, and don't say we didn't warn you. With all that in mind, on with the show.
I don't get how you guys are in the same house with the same shitty fucking internet.
Almost did, and like when I go into recording straight after turning it on.
It's fine now.
Is it? Because I'm still lagging for me.
Yeah.
Your camera's lagging, but your voice isn't lagging, and that's the only really important bit, honestly.
Okay.
All
cool.
right. Let's get ready to party.
Got good lighting at the moment, Ola.
Thanks, babes. I've got the lamp on.
Nice.
It's really fucking dark.
It's so dark here already as well. It's freezing.
We can't change our light bulbs either, because every time we try and change the light bulb, it triggers a fuse, and the entire house loses power.
Yeah, all the lights in the house turn off.
Yeah.
Amazing. Alrighty, are we ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Girls Who Read Porn. You're here with the Regs. My name is Ola, and we're here with Betty.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Hello.
And G.
Hi.
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 Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you? I haven't seen you in a week.
No.
Haven't really spoken to you guys either in a week. I've been like a hot mess galore this week, so I haven't been doing very well. You guys have been super patient with me, so thank you. Oh, it's not been amazing. Buying a car sucks. Don't do it.
Every time I see your Instagram stories, you're like, week from hell, wanna die.
That was this week.
Yeah, I know.
That was this week. This week was literally the worst week I've ever had. I was just sitting there going, why is this happening to me? Like every moment that something could just go better, it just magically went 50,000 times worse.
Perfect.
I know. It was, it couldn't be
That's
better.
ideal.
And then
That's
I just
exactly
finished,
what you want.
I know. And then we're recording 2 episodes this week, and I just finished the second book 11 minutes ago.
Wow.
You did it. Proud of you. That's good.
I managed. I know. I was meant to finish it an hour ago, but I fell asleep. I had a nap.
Worth it.
By accident.
It's all right. It's good that
It
coincided with me spending the day out of the house and away from all cell phone service.
Yeah.
No, good for you.
Yeah.
Where were you?
At the beach. It was warm at the beginning and then it got really cold. That's just why I'm still bundled up.
I'm not really sure why in New Zealand during winter you'd think,
because
beach day.
It was less cold than normal today.
It was 13 degrees this morning.
It was 13 degrees.
I have to say.
And there was like no wind.
Yeah.
So took the dog to the beach.
Yesterday in Australia was one of the hottest days we've ever had historically in winter. It was hot. It was
That's
like
weird.
schmoiling. It was disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird, eh? Whenever you do get this morning I woke up, I was like, oh my god, so sunny, so warm. And I instantly was like, climate change.
Exactly.
It's just like, it ruined it for me.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't good. Yesterday we were all really concerned. We were like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with this world. Something's wrong with this
You just
picture.
immediately
Everyone
feel
was talking
guilty.
about it.
You're like, man.
You do. Because you're like, oh, I love a hot day. Then you're like, oh my god, our world's on fire.
The ice caps are melting.
I was like, oh my god, I just bought a new car and added to it. That's what I felt like. I was like, this is the world
It's you.
turning around and biting me in the ass for buying a new car
It's
yesterday.
your fault. That's why we had an unseasonably hot day today.
Ola,
Your little
stop.
gas guggling mum machine.
I know. It's our
your
first
mum tank.
proper luxury car. And I have to say, I'm very confused by it. I tried to work out how to do something and I had to YouTube it, and everything is computerized. You know how in like non-luxury cars there are buttons to do things? No, this you have to like work out the computer, and it took me 30 minutes how to work out to auto close the side mirrors because everything is so narrow here that people take off the mirrors so easily. And I was like, I'm not leaving my mirrors open for anyone, not in this car. I just had to sell an organ to buy it.
In the cars like here, like in the cars that like Betty and Dane's car, if you want to close the mirrors, you just like push them shut.
Squish them.
Like you just shove them. Yeah.
You'd probably break every single electrical aspect.
Yeah, do like rip all of the wires out. It'd be like a cascading, like a butterfly effect.
I know. I opened the boot when I was at the car dealer, and because, I don't know, I've dealt with it for the last 30 years by using my own hands, I was like physically pushing it up and pushing it down. And the guy's like, stop! And I'm like, why? It's a boot. And he's like, it does it itself. You just need to flick your leg underneath the boot and it'll open and close itself. And I'm like,
what the heck? God. That's crazy. My car, when my AC stopped working, my automatic AC, I just shoved my hand behind the glove box and like ripped out a wire, and then it started working again.
Like a whack. Like Dane's, the lights on Dane's like dash don't light up sometimes, but then if you reach out and like give it a good smack, then they'll all turn on.
That's magic. My car has an option that if you're too tall, there's extra thigh support where an additional part of the seat will push out for you.
Oh my god.
It's like ergonomic.
It's so bad. I looked at it and I was like, no, this is too bougie. Like,
fucking European cars, man.
I've had European cars before. They're not on this level. Like Audi hit different, man. And we went into Audi and I was like, this is our budget. I'm not going over our budget. Don't even look at me when it comes to going over our budget. And then they showed us the car that we wanted and they were like, oh, this one starts at $120,000. And we were like, okay, no, we're just going to leave. And then he was like, no, wait, don't go anywhere. I have the same car for you, which was X demo, and it's more in your budget. Mate, it's top of the line everything. Only done 3,000 kilometers and we got like $30,000 off of it.
My car's done,
that's mad.
And I was
300.
Like, holy shit.
My car's done 300,000 kilometers.
That makes
me. And
me
you bought it for like 2 Gs.
Yeah. Off a cow farm.
I remember when you got the car and you were sending me videos of you like playing cowboy music, like getting fucking trying to clean it up.
Because I bought her off a cow farm. Her name's Mabel.
I don't know what I'm going to call my car, but it's got to be some fucking like wacko name like Florence or something. Because
I reckon your car looks like a Martha or like a Brenda.
Or like a
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
A Bernadette.
Like she looks like she looks like she's a bodybuilder. She goes to the
My
gym.
brother's name is Bartholomew.
No way.
It's such
Little Barty.
You call him Bart?
Bart, yeah.
Anyway.
Back to what we're meant to be doing today. Hey, I have no news. Just FYI, there is no news. I have none. Don't ask me because I haven't even looked. I opened my Kindle for the first time today in 9 days.
So there probably is news. You just don't have any.
Yes. I just don't have any.
Find your own news.
Not be.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Or send.
We won't be.
Can somebody please just like be our free PA and just send us shit when people are going to be releasing stuff so that I can just announce it?
No, I think that's our job.
A free PA. I want a free PA. I want a free PA to do everything. Can we just have a free PA that'll also check our emails and do our calendars?
Yeah, do you want to do your internship with us?
Hate admin. Yeah, do your internship. We'll sign off some university documents, pretend that we're a major company.
Yeah. Are you in university for media right now?
Yeah.
For us. For free.
Contact us. For free. We'll sign whatever
I'll
you
write
need
you
us to
such a good letter of
reference,
like letter of recommendation, whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever, just message us because we're all drowning, and at this point I leave in a week and a half and I have never been so fucking
If it makes you feel
life.
better, we're not paying you because we're cheap. We're not paying you because we don't make any money.
Yeah. This podcast is pro bono.
We're talking about Pucking Around by Emily Rath today.
We got this.
This is the only TikTok book that I've been able to swallow and been like, I fucking love it.
And there's always the exception to the rule.
Exactly.
Always. And Anyway, we'll get into it. So, what do we rate it?
I think I'm gonna rate it I reckon it's like a 3.5 to 4 star.
Good. That's a solid
yeah.
The
rating.
book by itself, 3 stars. The book with the extended epilogue and the prequel, I'll give it 3.5. Those really added to the book.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? We always talk about this. This is the sort of book. It's the porn sandwich.
Yeah, it's
It's the bread
Yeah.
before you get to the meat.
It's your it's your stable everyday diet, you know? This is this is your beans and rice book.
Yeah,
Porn
and
book.
if you just want smart for fucking a million pages, open it.
if you're a meat and 3 veg kind of gal.
If you like to eat dinner at 5 p.m. every night and be asleep by 9,
This is the book for you.
Hey, Ola.
When you said meat and 3 veg, I was like, fuck, there's 3 dicks in it. That makes so much sense.
Exactly. Meat and 3 veg.
That's a perfect way to explain a reverse harem. Meat and 3 veg.
This is the kind of book for you. It's simple. It doesn't ask a lot from you.
You don't have to think.
No.
There's
And
no
you don't
toll.
even have to remember where you left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot, actually. Because I quite often fall asleep reading. So, normally I'm, really confused when I pick it up again the next day. But this one I was like, okay, just keep going.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
You
if
can
you
just
miss, a
keep
few
going. It doesn't
sentences.
matter.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, I'll read the blurb and then we'll get into what we like, what we don't like, and our favourite sex scenes out of the 7,000.
Yeah.
My name is Rachel Price, and 2 months ago I walked away from the perfect man. Sweet and funny and so hot it should be illegal. We shared one magical night. No names, no strings. I never thought I'd see him again. I was wrong. It turns out Mr. Perfect is the Playboy grinder for the Jacksonville Rays, the NHL's hottest new hockey team, and I'm his new physical therapist. Oh, and the jerk doesn't even recognize me. This fellowship is going to be the longest 10 months of my life. Mr. Perfect Mistake will do anything to get back on my good side. Meanwhile, his best friend is the surly new equipment manager, always riding my case. Worst of all, I've got an uncooperative goalie who thinks I can't tell he's hiding an injury. This is my chance to prove myself, and I'm not risking it for anything. But with one unexpected night, one secret revealed, these men are ready to test all my limits. I can't fall for a player, let alone 3, but if love is a game, these guys are playing to win.
No.
Perfect.
Pucking around.
It's a good blurb.
Yeah, good
Blurb.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we like?
Our favourite parts.
Yeah,
You guys go first. I need to think about it.
I can.
Go, Ola. You go.
Or do you know better?
No, you go first.
Oh, okay. Mars and Jake.
Just the characters.
And also,
Just the
I just
characters?
love them.
Mhm.
Just because, I don't know why, I'm obsessed with them. It's what I want in my life. If I was to have a reverse harem, I would want 2 of them in there. Not that I had a problem with the other guy.
Caleb.
What's his name? Chase. Caleb. Great, throw him in, fantastic. But I actually just really liked the men in this book.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And I also liked all the sex and the fact that I didn't have to think. And yes, that's my likes. You're welcome.
I'm not a huge I'm not a huge fan of reverse harem.
Which is absurd.
So the part I liked about this book is it all didn't center around Rachel. Because my problem with reverse harem, right, is you get all these men who have nothing to do with each other, don't like them, and then their world changes just by one woman. And it really annoys me because that's not how that should work at all. No one is that good that they're going to change the lives of 4 people. I like this.
I am.
Yeah, I was I like reverse harem because I could be her.
Yeah, I could. And can I say something before you keep going? The best thing about it is that they all weren't that keen to be in a reverse harem.
Yeah, they did it because they loved each other, and I liked it.
Yes.
I liked this book because it wasn't all about her, and they had their own storylines and their own lives and their own personalities and their own goals and dreams and whatever that were outside of her as well as within the relationship. It was more than just a relationship, although the relationship was a fucking huge part of this book. They were always fucking each other. But but at least they had I don't know, their own issues to deal with outside of her.
I love gay sex.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love gay sex.
Isn't
Holy
it
shit.
good? It's just
Oh, and you
I-
know what? It was
I
just
think
like
it's
so
just-
easy in this book. Like, it's a good way to enter gay sex.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the book was probably like my favorite like actual like part of the book, like my favorite scene or like moment or whatever was probably the extended epilogue, because I liked that it gave you like a more in-depth glimpse into what their lives
Yes.
actually look like how, as opposed to like, you know, once they get over all the drama and the newness, or once all that
The
wears off, like
emergency
how do they actually
contact.
operate as a family.
That emergency
Yeah, like
contact
that was
scene.
a great scene,
That was
yeah.
such a good scene.
Yeah, and then I also loved that it wasn't just heterosexual sex. There was gay sex involved,
Oh my God,
which
I
is
love
just,
gay
I don't know.
sex.
I was talking to Betty about it, I think just after we both finished the book, and I was like, why is gay sex so good? And I think it's because we are just like so saturated with straight sex. Like it gets kind of, you get used to it, you get bored of it. Gay sex is something different.
No, it's because men are getting pounded by other men. It's about men being about power over men. That's why everyone loves to read about pegging too. Because the minute
Yeah.
you've got a man under you, you're like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!
Also
I'm gonna
because it's like,
destroy
I
that
don't know,
ass."
I want my big strong men to be vulnerable, like offer up their fucking arms.
Yeah, you like a
There's
finger in the
something
bum?
good.
Cute.
I think there's also something about like, I don't know, just a man expressing emotion where you're like, wow, this is
Yeah.
new.
And not being afraid to be like vulnerable in that way, like that, like I feel like if a guy in a book is like, yeah, like I'll totally try this, you're like, yes, don't be toxic, don't like let your masculinity get in the way of your pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was just a very
Big
middle
props
of
for
the
the gay
road.
stuff.
Yeah, middle of the road book for me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hate it.
Like, I
didn't love
didn't.
it.
I didn't put in this book expecting 5 stars. That's not the
I'd
point of
definitely
this
call
book.
it like, this would be another great example of like a beach read or like a vacation read, you know, something that you can just like get through like relatively quickly. It doesn't suck you in, doesn't leave you with like heaps of feelings, you know, like you've got a casual relationship with this book.
Yeah. And the reason why I chose it, as I said, is not because I was expecting everyone to give 5 stars. It's just to like break it up a bit. Because we went through like such shit, but I knew that this can't disappoint. It's just sex. Like, you can't fuck it up unless you're spelling a shit and you don't know how anatomy works. Like, it's really quite simple to keep, well, no, it's not simple to write a book, but it's quite simple to please people if you keep it chill
simple.
and
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
Also,
yeah, that's
another
why I chose
favorite
it.
part, when Rachel was like throwing a hissy fit because she got suspended, rightfully so. She was fucking her patient. Whatever.
Yeah, it's big no-no.
Yeah,
She would lose her medical license.
Yeah. Anyway,
She wouldn't just be suspended.
She got suspended and she was throwing a hissy fit, and then Kayla was like, "No, like if you want to go, like you go. Like I'm not gonna beg you to stay. Okay."
Yeah.
That was like the best bit because it never really happens in these romance books. Like they always like are like, "Please don't leave me. Like I can't live without you." And he's like, "If you don't value me, like go fuck yourself. Like you go. Like see you later."
Yeah.
And it was
That
a
was a
nice
good
change
scene.
in pace from what I'm used to reading.
Yeah. Caleb did have a really good, like, he grounded everyone.
Yeah. I think especially
Otherwise,
Jake.
if they had like another Jake or like another Mars, then it would have just been a bit too much. Whereas he just kind of made it more real instead
the
of
calm.
yeah.
And just like he could think clearly, it seems
He
like,
was kinda
compared to
cringy,
Jake
though.
and Mars. Yeah, it was pretty cringy. But okay, I'm sorry, but the scenes where he's doming Jake and Rachel, they were pretty cringy.
When he sings.
Oh, when he sings! Oh my god. That was like one of the moments where I was like,
Oh
I
god.
think I need to skip this bit.
Like,
I
I
wanted
wanted
to
our
see
least
that.
favorite parts.
That was probably my least favorite part.
Mine was the part that
Was the
nearly
I know
made
what
me
Betty's
vomit.
is.
Oh yeah.
Them sharing each other's cum.
Oh god, it was so hard. I just like I don't do spit, and there was literally spitting cum in each other's mouths, and I was like,
Come sharing. Yeah, I liked it.
no,
I like filthy shit.
it made me
I
nauseous.
like things to actually be like a little bit like genuinely filthy,
I don't.
because it's like, because it's super debasing, and I love that.
It's not even like the idea of it's not like the concept of it. It's the mouthfeel of just having like to hold cum in your mouth and then someone spit in it. Ugh. No.
It's like gone all weird. It's
I
kinda
feel like when you
lukewarm.
overthink it and you overtalk about it, It's no bueno.
No, it's the moment I read it on the page, like my mind instantly went to like the like holding cum in your mouth and how that would feel.
Yeah,
and
she
then
had
it
like a
made-
physical
yeah, I
reaction
started
on the
gagging.
couch.
Okay, fair
Which was-
enough.
I thought it was hilarious.
Also, another
No, that is so
probably
funny.
least favorite part is like there wasn't really much of a conflict point. Like they kept building up like their relationship was going to cause all of these problems and they would lose their jobs.
Oh, like
and,
with the job.
like the NHL, like everybody will hate them because like they're not used to this kind of like relationship, and then it built it up so high that you thought like something at least bad was going to happen, and then just nothing bad happened. Like there wasn't really any ounce of conflict.
It was, yeah, I guess because like it was resolved like off page as well, like because obviously that chapter was from Rachel's point of view and she knew nothing that was going on, and then it was like she just like went out and met them and everything was fixed.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, I felt like the resolution off page was kind of made it feel like a little bit of like an anticlimax.
No, fair enough. My least favorite part of this book is that it's TikTok famous.
It's also ridiculously long.
What?
I hate that it's TikTok famous because I do not trust TikTok, and then it gives me like anxiety that we're missing out on something, and I refuse to ever do a TikTok book again. Because I read this before we made the decision not to do a TikTok book again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so now I've got mad anxiety that we're going to miss out on
Yeah,
something.
you read
And I'm
this
actually
ages
terrified
ago.
of reading The Fourth Wing.
I'm going to be reading The Fourth Wing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what if
BD
it's shit? It's a TikTok book.
But
Sorry, just dropping things.
it was, I saw it on other things before I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on like book groups first,
Okay.
which I trust.
Can I also just say,
What?
yes, book group's fantastic. Anyone who thinks Icebreaker is spicy, you need to read Pucking Around.
Or just read any other book.
But like, I think you should. I think you should read all of Pucking Around. Like,
Fucking
you should read
can't.
like the one
Yeah, with the
night,
prequel.
the prequel, like the book, and then the
I
extended.
didn't read the prequel.
The prequel's good. It's only like 70
I didn't
pages.
read the prequel either.
It's
but
really
I read
nice.
the extended
I only-
epilogue.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's like 70 pages. It's literally just like how she met Jake and them just like fucking, and then it was it, and like how she left. Like it's just like a 70-page thing, but it's kind of nice to read. It gives you a little bit of context into like where their heads are at.
The next book comes out maybe a week before I fly back.
I probably won't be.
So I'm going to download it and read it
I
on the
probably
plane.
won't
The
read
one
it.
with the... Fair enough, I will.
It's not that like I don't like the author or the way that she writes or anything. I'm just not like super invested in the story, and I wasn't really invested in Tessa's character anyway, because she's just not really that much of a part of it.
No, I really liked her.
She wasn't really.
I don't know. I'm going to read it. I fucking loved it.
Fair enough.
Like, I know I didn't give it a 5, but I loved it because it did what I needed it to do. When I was having, like, a down mood or something, I read it and I was like, oh, this feels nice.
I don't actually,
Yeah, it was like it'd be a good book to read if you're stressed.
I
Yeah,
don't think I'm a sports romance girly.
that's illegal.
I like sports romance. I don't know,
You're
there is
fired.
something weird about it.
Goodbye.
I read actually
You are the weakest link.
a really good sports romance that I read. I quite like the ones where like the women are also playing sport. Like I read Saffron A. Kent, her St. Mary's Rebel series. A lot of that is about like soccer. So like a lot of them like play soccer or like, and then the first girl, Salem, she plays soccer. And then also fucking Culty by Mariana Zapata. That is a really good book.
The slowest burn that has
So
ever
slow.
been written on the planet. I refuse to read it.
But they bonded like over their like passion, which was soccer.
I refuse to read it.
You should read it because it's incredible.
I
Mariana
do
Zapata
too.
is
No,
insane.
I refuse to
about
read it because, like, if I'm gonna read to read some fucking.
I read the new
I'm
Anna
basic
Todd book,
bitch like that.
The Falling.
Oh, you did.
Anna Todd didn't write it.
That's Betty's conclusion that she's come to.
Oh, that's big words. We're gonna get cancelled.
No, it's
Really,
no.
it's shit.
I'm only messing. She obviously did write it because the chapters are like.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I know Anna Todd wrote it because she does that thing where like chapters are only 3 pages. You know, then
Can we just quickly go? We'll come back to this. Can we quickly talk about our favorite sex scenes, and then we're gonna
okay, sure.
go into the whole Anna Todd thing? Favorite sex scene for sure in the epilogue when they're all blowing Mars.
Oh my god, that was my one too.
No, mine is.
Because I was like, my one was like, I was like, oh my god, they're gay for love.
They're all gay for each other, and I love that.
Like he's not even gay, but he loves them,
But it's
so he's
for
gay
love.
for love.
Yes.
That wasn't mine one, but my
Oh my
favorite
God.
scene was a gay scene, and it was when Caleb was watching Jake play in the extended epilogue, and then Jake like winks at him, and he's
Fucks
like,
him in the-
I
That was
have
so
to do
hot.
this right now, like I have to go, and he like hands his kids off to Mars and is like running through the stadium.
I need to get laid.
I need
to
that
fuck some ass.
It was
Yes, no, it was
that was
amazing.
good, yeah,
That one was the whole extended epilogue had better sex scenes.
Yeah.
I loved the extended epilogue. That's probably one of the
So did I.
best extended epilogues I've read.
It was
I think
so
it was,
good.
I think it was, do you think it was also good because like the actual book was like quite long and there was like quite a lot of filler, but the extended epilogue was like quite punchy, like
Yes,
you know, it's shorter, so a lot more
Yes.
content pushed into.
And
a
it like
shorter
skipped
thing.
it like
Yes.
skipped scenes, so there wasn't the fluff in between. Like you just got like 4 or 5
All of a
significant
sudden you're 3 years
like
later.
significant
Yeah.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go back. Anna Todd.
Oh right. No, I know. Like I.
Thanks for listening, guys. We need to go back to Anna Todd.
Okay,
now.
so Anna Todd has a very specific way of writing, right?
Mhm.
Where her chapters don't make sense at all.
Mhm.
So
My fucking god. We actually need to talk about After. Let's start off with After and then we'll go into this.
Okay.
After is the most bizarre fucking series I've ever read. I've never been so stressed as I have when I read
It's
After.
very strange.
it's
It's
but
so
it's
stressful.
so good. It's so fucking good.
It's a roller
It's
coaster.
so bad.
It is.
It's so bad. It's good.
Yeah, it's so bad. It is good. And like I love.
I
reading
read it and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever read. And then 6 months later, I was like, what the fuck?
I
It's
read
weird.
the
It's like
original.
it tricks you into liking it when you read it.
Yes,
It tricks you
because
into
you get
thinking it's
sucked
amazing.
in. Because you get sucked in, but then you realize I just read a bunch of bullshit about some weird shit. Let's talk about the fucking virgin blood thing.
That was the most insane scene I think I've
where you say
ever
the
read
bed,
in my
the
life.
bed sheets.
That cannot be
The bed
normal.
sheets.
That cannot be okay. The bed
You know what's
sheets.
worse?
No, that's a fucking red flag. Like that is psychotic.
That is like honestly, and then you end up back, and then the fucking ending of the 4th book. Listen, they just keep like you know you're gonna end up together.
You know what the worst part
Stop
is?
with the fucking angst until the last 3
And
seconds. Like just give it a rest.
I read the original Wattpad series first, so like unedited,
Yeah.
undrafted, like still using the original
Fan fiction.
still using the original One Direction names. Okay, like nothing had been changed. So I read the whole thing in 3 days because I was just glued to the couch, like obsessively reading this because the unedited version.
Imagine being Harry Styles.
I think he sent like a cease and
He did. She's not allowed to go near him. He's got a restraining order against her.
anyway. So I read this whole thing unedited, which made it so much better. It was even better than the actual like published books. But
I
the
can't.
change that they made is in the end of the Wattpad, they fuck in the bathroom. They say like we should get married.
Which book?
Like the end of the entire series where they like
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
in the bathroom
yeah, yeah.
at Landon's
They
wedding.
fuck in the bathroom. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they say they're gonna get married. In the Wattpad original one, they start to drive to Vegas, and then halfway through Vegas, they go like, "This is a bad idea," and that's how the book ends. So when
That's
I
cruel.
read it for the first time, there was no happy ending. So I read like 2,000-3,000 pages, like
2,000-3,000, like 4,000-5,000.
okay, fine, like
pages.
4,000
There's no way that was
5,000
2,000-3,000
pages
Yeah,
to have it end like that, to end with no happy ending.
I'd blow my computer up. I would blow my computer up. You couldn't stop me. I would find Anna Todd and I'd slap her because that is not fair. You don't, whatever she already did, the amount of angst that she put in that book, is not healthy for a person to go through because it's genuine stress. Your body, like my body was stressed out. I wasn't sleeping properly. I was like, what the fuck is going to happen next? And normally at the end of the book, there's a cliffhanger. No, she was like literally hanging him by the toes on the cliff and letting him go. She was like, no, we're not gonna save you and take you back up onto the cliff. No, she's like, I'm gonna fucking destroy
Dude, when
your
her
soul.
dad fucking dies of a heroin overdose.
That's the thing as well. Like you can't get a break with Anna Todd. She doesn't believe
No.
in like being happy. Like you get maybe like one page
Yeah,
of
she's a
happiness,
devil
and then everything
bitch.
comes crashing down again. So like over the course of the whole series, like everything that can go bad goes bad. Every bad thing that like Hardin can do to her, he does. Every bad thing he can say to her, he does. Any bad thing that can happen with
And
her
she
family.
is a little fucking bitch by taking him back every time.
Dude, when
That's not
when
true
she gets
love.
set up,
That's fucking Stockholm syndrome.
when she gets set up by Steph for SA at the party, and then Molly
Yeah.
saves her, and then she refriends Steph after the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
are you
fucking insane,
kidding
eh?
me? She locked you in a room, drugged you, and sent lads in there, and you was like, oh, it's fine. You didn't mean to. Just because she was in love with Hardin the entire time.
That was such a good twist, though, as well.
Yeah, it was.
To find out that Steph was the villain and Molly was actually like an all right person. I was like, go Molly. I was like, Molly is
I'm
my favorite character.
Team
now.
Molly.
Yeah.
I am. What's the main chick's name?
Tessa.
Tessa.
I am anti Tessa on crack. You cannot find somebody who is less liking of Tessa than this bitch right here. She is weak. She has no personality, and she has no respect for herself.
Can we also just like what also receives like a gold standard mention is the film adaptations of these books.
Oh no!
They have literally become
Disgusting.
like a hallmark of like all of our friendships at the moment. Like all of mine and Betty's friends, like every time a new one comes out, we get together and we watch them all again and get drunk.
You have no idea
that's what we
how
do.
many fucking times I've seen
not
the
doing
first
that when I
After
see you.
movie. I've seen the first After movie at least like upwards of 25 times.
I'm
Because we
not
just
doing
put
that
it
when I
on.
come
It's
see
like a
you guys.
comfort movie for us now. Like if we see one go up, we'll just be like, oh, just put that on.
No bueno. It's not
Ah,
happening.
so good. I could watch it 100 times. I don't think I'd ever get bored of it. Sometimes I watch the first movie and then I go like, I could watch that again right now.
Do you know what I would
Yeah.
prefer to do? Read the second book of 365
With the dead dog.
with the dead
Puppy
dog.
killer.
Then watch After. with
Anyway,
you guys.
okay.
Because I know that Betty's gonna go, oh my god, this scene is amazing, or some
I can
shit.
just
She's
I
gonna
can
be like,
say
I love
it.
this.
I can
Or-
speak the words.
Or yes, or you're just gonna fucking just tell us the whole dialogue of the movie, and I'm just gonna be sitting there going, I
That's
want
what
to
we
kill
do.
myself.
It's so funny, like when you get up to bits and then you just like quote him, and it's like
Yeah.
hilarious because he has like the stupidest lines, but also like Hero finds Tiffin, the actor that plays him, is so unreasonably attractive.
Yeah, fuck
like
yeah.
he does not deserve this.
He's so hot.
No, he
and
isn't.
Josephine
He's an idiot.
Josephine
And the other
Langford probably
thing-
doesn't deserve to be in it either, but
Can I just say that OG dad, the OC guy, knew how shit it was and disappeared.
that is
how
there's
shit the
so
movies
many
That's
are.
another
actors that have
thing.
left.
I know,
There's
because it's
so many people
so
have been recast.
shit. Because it's so shit, and they were like, we do not want to be affiliated.
In the
with this
last
bullshit.
movie, there's only 10 minutes worth of content of Josephine Langford playing Tessa because she drops
The one
out of
that's
the
coming out this
she
year.
drops out of the movie.
Excuse me.
She pulled the main character Tessa pulls out of the movie. So there's 10 minutes.
So
Like the
how were they
actress.
doing the last movie?
There's 10
It's they're focusing it on Hardin,
and there's only 10 minutes of content of her in the entire movie.
and I think it's at the end, so it's
Yeah.
focusing like on like all the time that he spent apart from her,
Yeah.
like before they meet up
Oh
again
my
in New
god,
York.
this just makes me want to shoot myself. I'm not watching it.
Sorry. Let's talk about The Falling. Because that's the new Anna Todd book I
Okay.
just read. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no smut in this book. Which I was really... There's
There's
no
no
smut.
smart.
But that's because she hasn't slept with the
Oh
character
my
yet.
god.
But it's also like...
Oh, that's right, because it's one
one
of
of 3
three books.
Oh,
Okay,
fucking kill me.
The premise is there's this 20-year-old girl, and her dad is like an officer in the military, and she's just like been living around like military bases in the US her entire life. Her mum leaves because she has to have some childhood trauma because she can't deal with like the constant moving and her dad kind of like being like a stern officer. So she also has a twin brother. At the age of 20, like she moves out, ends up buying her own house, and is like a massage therapist, and her brother's just like a criminal, basically. Like that's her life. She like ends up doing a massage for this quite young army sergeant or whatever, and that's like where their relationship starts pretty much. And then you just like follow this like relationship where she knows that he's always gonna leave, but like so they can never like be together, but like they're like on and off, where they're like towing the.
Does Anna Todd just
I don't
hate
know.
herself?
So like they're towing this
Or maybe she hates the
boundary.
readers. She's like, I want to make them
Yeah,
suffer.
but the book. I'm not going to ruin the ending of the book in case people want to read it. It's fairly new, but the way that the book ends is the most anticlimactic cliffhanger in all of existence. It's meant to be this huge cliffhanger, right? Where you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And then you get there and you're like, I actually kind of really don't like. It's not that big of a deal, but whatever.
Classic.
I find that so many people say that. Okay, so I feel like I'm going to offend some people. Is it Tate James who writes the Hades series? Okay, love the Hades series, but everyone was like, oh my god, she's a cliffhanger queen. There was only one, and they're like, every single book in her cliffhangers are crazy. There was only one book where I was like, oh, this is mean. Like, how are you going to get out of this? Whereas cliffhangers don't really bother me unless if the whole series isn't out, then maybe. But if the whole series is out, I'm like, well, there's obviously more shit going to happen.
That's what Scarlett St. Clair's Hades and Persephone series. Like, I didn't realize that they weren't all out because there were already like 3 out. Read them, big cliffhanger, and the next one don't even know when the fuck that's coming out.
Oh, probably in 6 years.
It's the same with Lord of London Town.
Yeah,
big cliffhanger. Do not know when it's going to come out.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the cliffhanger is.
He's got like
anymore.
a long lost. His sister didn't die in the fire. She's like,
oh, the sister,
Yeah.
the sister.
she's
She's evil.
Yeah,
Isn't she? She's
like
evil.
Another gang, whatever.
Yeah, because she was like put into a cult
Yeah,
or
I
some
don't know,
shit,
can't
and
remember.
she hates everyone.
Yeah, dude. Doesn't she
She's
have,
in
like,
charge.
Wait,
She's
isn't
a
she, like,
mafia
amnesia?
boss.
Doesn't she
Yeah,
get
and then she got
amnesia?
like retrained as a mafia boss for like the competitive gang in Switzerland or whatever.
So
Anyway,
fucking weird, man.
Anna Todd probably
Love
did write
Chili
this book,
Cole.
but the writing is so substantially better than the After series, and I will give her credit.
I think she had been editing.
Probably. I will give her credit for that. It is significantly well written, a lot less trauma, more genuinely interesting and captivating, but not in like a why the fuck am I reading this way, and like a oh this is nice.
Oh,
It's like
well,
a lot.
that's
It's like a
good.
lot
It's a
less
first.
traumatic.
I don't know if this is a bitchy thing to say, but I think she needs to go get some therapy.
She could be just completely fine. We read fucking fucked up shit all the time. Like I love these books. Don't ask her to get therapy because then she'll change how she writes, and then what will I read?
I don't know, everything else.
You make it seem like you've been reading After on repeat, like the entire
No,
time.
I read it one time and I'll never
I've read
do
it
again.
several times.
I know,
Yeah,
because
I read-
you are unhinged. You also
It's-
need
Yeah, I
therapy.
read the
Comfort
Wattpad
read.
series.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up that it's your comfort read. You need to be institutionalized. You should be with your criminal buddies
It's
hanging
not
out
fucked
because
up
that's
because
not
I'm
normal.
not. I understand that it's comical. It's not real. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but the fact that you keep rereading it, it's like people who reread 50 Shades.
But
That's
it's
the
not
same
like
level for me.
like it's not like it's no longer like anxiety inducing and traumatic to me because I know exactly what happens. It's just kind of hilarious, slightly comical, and every time I read it, I discover something new and funny about the series.
Yeah.
Do
Do
you
you
know
think
what
also
makes me
like
really
it's quite
angry about After?
comforting?
Go on, someone.
Oh, what's the character's name?
Langdon.
The stepbrother.
Landon.
That's the only thing that makes me really angry. Well, not the only thing, but that's the thing that really makes me angry, how they treated him. How they kept using him and just being dicks to him. And then he was like, well, I'm glad you're married. Congratulations. Keep using me. I have no personality.
Hey, Betty, do you think that you find After so comforting because Hardin is so like predictable in his anger? Like no matter what happens, he's always going to.
Yeah, I was talking to George about this.
Yeah, like burning a
I was
house
talking
down.
to George about this,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes, like, everybody's always like, well, why do you read books about violent men, blah, 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 right? And it's like, because when you read a book about a violent, angry man, you know that the author has probably set a boundary that the man is going to be outwardly angry to everybody but their love interest most of the time. Like, they're never going to hit, they're never going to hurt their love interest. And that's why you read about angry men, but you don't date angry men, because angry men don't have the same boundaries as authors. So as much as I love reading about Hardins and Tristan's from like Runix's series, like the angry mafia pieces of shit guys. Never gonna find somebody like that because they don't have the moral boundaries that the authors have put in.
Yeah. There's like, it's like a safety.
Yeah, it's like interesting to read because I know that no one's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, so like when you think like oh, like why am I into all of these characters that are murderers, and you think like, well, real murderers in real life probably wouldn't kill with the discretion
Exactly.
that these people do. They don't only kill bad people like all the murderers in books do.
And that's why After is a comfort read to me. And it's hilarious. It's good.
He does. He actually does fuck her up like a lot though. Like he's pretty fucking cruel to her.
I'm not defending his actions. I'm just saying I enjoy reading it.
Yeah. Do we have anything
No,
else
I think
to
that
say?
was it.
No, don't say it. Leave it for the next episode that we're going to record in about 5 minutes. Otherwise, we're going to run out of shit to say and it's going to be a terrible episode. Okay, guys. I don't know. What are we reading next week?
I don't know because last time I published an episode,
I don't know, because we're actually out of time.
We also said
now.
the wrong thing. We said that El Sparrow was coming on. El Sparrow had already been on, so I feel like we should just not say anything now. You'll find out.
I'm pretty sure it's the
I
Dragon
don't know. You'll
Bride.
find out when it's published.
I think we're up to the...
I don't know if it's... Yeah, I don't know.
think that's true.
Everything's out of time because we're pushing things back as the more we record.
Okay, anyway, whatever. We're
We'll see
reading
you next
something
week.
next week. Yeah. Catch you on the flip. It's going to be a surprise. What are we doing? We don't know.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Girls Who Read Porn. Follow us at Girls Who Read Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And for all business inquiries, please send us an email on girlswhoreadporn@gmail.com. Art created by Jessica Wanney and music made by Dane Forgy Stevens. See you next week and stay smutty, team.